Hey,
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
talking to the top so we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
There you
Thank you.
go.
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Of course, thank you for being here. I mean, it was so great. I saw you at Through the Eyes of Art, and
Hmm.
I'm like, yo, I have been seeing your work,
Yeah.
and it is prominent at Black Dot where my office is, and so
Yeah.
I was like, it's great for me to be able to just check in with you, catch up, and really give you space to share your story because I
Yeah.
think you have something unique to kind of share. What got you into art, Cal?
Well, I always drew. Well, I didn't draw growing up. When I was a kid, I was tracing growing up, and I was lying to my uncle, and telling my uncle, "Oh, I'll drew this. I drew this." But really, my friend was a good artist, and he drew it, and I was tracing his art, and he was like, "You didn't draw this. You gotta draw something for real." And so he made me draw it on the spot in front of him, and then that's when I learned that this is something different. I have to actually draw, So that's how the story of art started for me. I started drawing at a young age, and then I always doodled in class and in school and stuff. So once I got to college, I was playing basketball, and I fractured my shin, and I fell into a deep depression. And I started talking about. I mean, I apologize. I started drawing, and I started drawing all my feelings and emotions and stuff, and that's how I really got back into my art.
Wow. I
Yeah,
mean, there's something always so unique about the creative fields, right?
yeah,
Like it's not necessarily just a class you could take,
right,
but there's certain pathways that lead you there. And
right.
so, how did you start to take it more seriously and think about it in terms of like a profession?
Well, during that depression, my roommate seen what I was drawing. He was like, "People get stuff like this tattooed," and then that's when I start looking up what tattoo artists make, and then I start seeing other tattoo artists draw certain things that I was drawing, and I was like, "Whoa, I could do this too." So then I went and did more research, and uh, one of my friends' baby's mother at the time, she sent me $100 to get my first tattoo machine, and I never looked back after that. I just started tattooing people at my school, and then it was rocky. I wasn't the best tattoo artist, of course, but I'll start learning more and more, and then it was after that. That was me. It was tattooing. It was Cal Bonner. Everybody was like, "I need a tattoo from Cal," and it just took off from there.
Well, word of mouth goes far in,
Yeah.
in in certain circles, and I think tattooing is an art form in and of
Mhm.
itself. But then you not only stayed in that lane, you start to really branch out and do some amazing work. I mean, we see some pieces you have behind you, but what made you make that leap to say, you know what, I'm gonna also be a painter. I'm going to utilize multi media to do my art because you use different things. I see one that's like glossed over. There's obviously certain ways that you do your art, but tell us about that kind of jump from like tattooing in college to then being like, yo, I'm going to make some actual pieces that I could sell.
Well, painting helps your tattooing and shading. So that's what I heard. And then once I started painting, I started learning more shading, and I never took an art class. So I didn't know anything about shading and line work, dots, nothing. I didn't know anything about it. So I was learning as I go, and when I started painting, I started getting better at tattooing. So it was like a complementary thing for each of them. So I started painting more and more, and I just got better and better at tattooing. And the next thing you know, I was like, I love this. I want to start painting more and more. And I started painting more portraits, and I started painting more cartoons and stuff. And I started learning more, and I just got better and better at it.
Well, you are clearly in the field you're supposed to be in. I
Yeah.
mean, it's something so special about a unique eye and what artists pour into their pieces. A lot of times there's a lot of personal story behind that. And you have one that's behind you of this man and woman. And I got to ask about that because there's so much going on in that piece. Tell us what was the inspiration behind that piece.
Well, I have been diagnosed with schizophrenia and psychosis. A lot of artists go through this because we live in a different world sometimes when we're painting and drawing. But I've been diagnosed with it, and my lady, she has my back, like front and back. So I drew a picture of us going against the world, me and her against the world. And I'm not with violence or anything like that, but it was just a cool picture that I came up with, and it doesn't show our face or anything, but it shows our tattoos, and it was just me and her against the world, and I just thought it would be a cool picture to draw.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of couples find that about themselves when you
Yeah.
find your partner, like the one that's really here for you, that can have you in that regard, hold you
Mhm.
down like that, support you in that way. There's something really special about that. And
Yeah.
you're a young brother, right?
Mhm.
So for me, I love seeing that you poured into that and that you want to showcase that for others. And it was one of the pieces you had there
Yeah.
at Through the Eyes of Art. And I remember just staring at it like, yo, this is what a lot of couples are like. Yo, I mean, even if we're in community and we're serving, we have that heart for service. There's so much that is shared intimately between the two of you.
Yeah.
And she was there with you that
Yep.
day too. I mean, so it's beautiful to see that level of dedication to one another between you and her. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
You also have this piece of Nipsey here, which
Mhm.
we know Nipsey now. I mean, who knew when his early on in his career? I didn't think he was a dope artist. I'm not
Mhm.
gonna lie. I was like, he's all right, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? But he had this total dedication to West Coast, I
Mhm.
think, art form of hip hop
Mhm.
that I gravitated towards. I'm like, oh yeah, West Coast, right? Like West Side. But he really grew as an artist, and particularly, when that last album he dropped, I think it really like was a game changer for so many folks. What led you to say, I need to do this piece of Nipsey?
Well, growing up in high school, I didn't graduate in the 4 years I was supposed to, and he had a mixtape, two mixtapes. One was the Marathon, and the Marathon Continues. The Marathon was the first mixtape that I listened to of his, and it got me through high school. It helped me get through my 5th year, and the Marathon Continues helped me get through got me to college and through college. So when I first seen him, when it came to his concert in the Victory Lap it was in Seattle. It was the last concert in Seattle, his Victory Lap tour, and I drew a painting, and I didn't get a chance to actually talk to him, but I had a painting, and he was running. I mean, he was running to his bus, and I yelled his name, Nipsey, and I showed him the painting, and he ran back to me, and he took a picture with me and took the painting. But there started being gunshots, so he ran back to his van. He said, "I'll follow you on Instagram. Just send me a message." So I sent him a message, and he's following me back on Instagram. But I didn't know he was coming back to Seattle again for a meet and greet. So when I heard that he was coming back for a meet and greet, I was like, man, I gotta get another painting and actually have a conversation with him. But I painted this painting when I heard he was coming back, and then at the meet and greet, he didn't get a chance to really talk to me, but he did sign it for me, and he did take a picture with me. So that was enough for me.
Wow.
Yeah, but he was one of my heroes because he got me through high school, and he got me to get to college. His music really got me there. So
Well, when you talk about, the battles that you faced, right?
mhm.
Like just kind of like you said, artists going into a whole nother world, and a lot of times, people don't understand it, right?
Mhm.
But that's something that is almost like it's true for a lot of artists because you dive into something so deep. So
Mhm.
I love that Nipsey was able to at least connect with you enough to be able to be impactful for you. And
Mhm.
when you think about the ways that you kind of see things moving forward, right?
Mhm.
I remember checking in with you years ago,
Mhm.
and everybody knew you as the tattoo artist.
Yeah.
Like you are so right about that. Like
Yeah.
everyone was like, "Oh yeah, no, Cal does all my tattoo." Like I only go to Cal.
Yeah.
How do you kind of see the ways that you've really established yourself as an artist moving forward here? Because you're well known here in such a great way and well beloved, Cal. And what do you kind of see for future in terms of how you grow this thing?
Well, right now we're looking for a new location because the last location was get burglarized, as you guys know. from all our YouTube videos. It was getting burglarized, and I got robbed in there. So when we let that go in the pandemic, so now we're looking for a new location at the moment. As soon as we find that, we're just gonna go full throttle like we did last time, and just look for more another artist, somebody that's trustworthy, and somebody that's really about their business. Somebody that wants to grow as an artist as well. Somebody that I can honestly that's wants to be my protege. Somebody that really wants to be. I really bleed art. So if somebody wants to be a part of what I got going on, I would love to bleed the art into somebody else. I would love that, but it's tough to find somebody that wants to just buckle down and do art for a living. People are scared to say, I can sell my art and live off my art, and I have done it, but other people are afraid to do it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you're really setting such a prime example
Yeah.
for others, and I'm glad that you shared that here because there may be somebody who's listening or watching that says, that's really what I need. I need that level of mentorship. So kudos to you for being willing to do that. And also, kudos to you for staying connected and plugged into community and being able to be at these certain events so others can be exposed to what you do and what you bring. Anytime you have updates, Cal, just know this is a home for you. You can come back anytime, share once you have a grand opening. We would love to be there. I would love to be present.
Yes, please come.
And just continue to support you. I just love what you're doing. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Look right there in the camera. Let folks know how they tap in with you.
You guys can come. You guys can follow me on Instagram at vision4rm_calb. That's my Twitter also. You guys can follow me on Snapchat if you guys want to see me painting and tattooing. That's where I post most of my stuff. That's Cal_Bonner. And really on YouTube, we are the VI family. And that's pretty much it. I don't really have too much more.
Well, that's a lot right there to keep up with. Again, kudos to you and everything you're doing, man. Thanks for coming down today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, y'all. I mean, come on. Terrific Tuesday is off to a great start. I'm looking forward